Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Kim, and I want to share a great module to do at the end of your course. So now that you've had an amazing year, and at the end of this video, I'll share some of the amazing things that we've done. How do you kind of capture all that in one place? Because I think how you finish matters. And so I have a Google slide that has some questions that give students the opportunity to reflect on their experience. So there's a blank template. Each student creates one. They can say some things to the class, and they can give advice to next year's class as well. And this is important, this advice to next year's class, because this is actually a great classroom management strategy because what you can do is you can have this advice that you then pass on to next year's class. And this could be one of the very first modules that they look at. Looking at that class that went through that experience, they can then reflect on their own goals for that upcoming year. So, how do you help students to reflect on their past as they think about their future in this yearbook My Advice module, one of the last modules for the course? So, I do have some questions. I'm not going to go through every question, but let's see. Like if I were to go back to that first slide, I have some questions like what did you enjoy about that course? How have you grown as a person? And so forth. Questions to kind of help the person reflect and think about their experience. Obviously, you could also use a lot of in-person in-class strategies to also discuss this as well to generate kind of some good ideas, some thoughts. And then once again, the a critical piece is what is the advice that you would have for next year's class because that information is going to be important for the upcoming year. If you haven't had a chance to watch Yuri's video on the screencast she created of her advice, then I recommend doing so because then you can see exactly what a student sample looks like of what a video recording looks like, a video screencast or a short form video. But what students also create are these Google slides. Each student claims a Google slide and then they write a little bit of notes to me, notes to the class, some advice. And you can see that on the left-hand side, they've put their My Story, the very first assignment that we've done in this class, and then they have their advice link as well. So if the future student were to click on that link, they'd be able to kind of get to know that student, but also get some advice. And that actually would be a nice launch to the start of next year because they're seeing kind of like what the first module will be like, and also some advice from another student. And so you can see how there's like slides for every single person. Every single person has a chance to do this. They have a chance to share their story, give a note to the class, share their advice, and so forth. And they actually have a chance to get a lot of feedback from other classmates, just like you would in a yearbook. So I have some sentence starters down at the bottom of the notes area where other students can also give feedback to that student. So in a classroom setting, what I might have students do is like once you've created your slide, you're giving feedback to the person below you, right? Kind of like how you would write in a person's yearbook. So that's a great way to conclude a course. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for students to reflect on all that they've done as they also think about their next step as well, while benefiting the next year's class so that you can set the most positive learning environment as possible. Now, for the purposes of this course, you might even have some snapshots of some of the highlights for the course. So for this Korean American Studies course, this is just an example, how throughout the year you might have been, creating some material or there might be some stories, some pictures. Well, that also goes in your book, doesn't it? And I think that also helps to tell the story. So, we have our trailer here. We have our first assignment, which was that mashup of their My Story introductions. We also have a mashup of their poems that they made with their parents through Shijo Korean poetry. We had their My Story of Resilience assignments, different events that we had students be JEDI Resilience Ambassadors, Justice, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and then of course all the opportunities to share our stories to various media agencies that were so curious about what we're doing, and we were highlighted in so many places and spaces, gifts that we received, also programs that we became a part of, that we were awarded, events that we're able to put on, recognitions that we received, places that we were able to partner with and collaborate with, and then stories about, once again, our course and some professional learning opportunities where even our students had a chance to provide some leadership for others in other spaces. So this is a wonderful space to um, also have that as well. So they can actually make a copy of this yearbook. They can have their class, they can have feedback from themselves, they have some pictures to kind of remind themselves of what a great year this was. It doesn't cost any money, and everyone leaves with a yearbook from your course. So it's a great gift to leave for your students, but also it's a great gift for next year's students. This is Dr. Jeff from Ed Family signing out.